staying ahead of the weather.
Friday has been bumped up to a bona fide first alert weather day.
When dangerous or disruptive conditions are heading our way,
windy conditions, heavy snow.
The CBS 2 weather team has a new way to keep you informed.
We're getting close to that sub-zero realm.
Alerting you to keep you safe.
Don't go. We're under a flood warning. Don't go.
This is a CBS 2 special presentation. First Alert Weather. Predict and prepare.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm CBS 2 Chief Forecaster Lonnie Quinn. And plain and simple, the weather affects our lives every day, and it's not always pleasant. And if you need an example of just how important First Alert forecasting is, all you got to do is look at our weather over the past few months.
This snow has just been blowing sideways. The wind is brutal. The cold is brutal.
Almost 9 inches in Queens.
It's not even close to being over yet.
Crazy morning, bars all over the place.
About the worst travel conditions I've seen in 20 years covering news up here.
There are so many uprooted trees in this neighborhood, and behind my shoulder you can see a home that was split into two.
I was standing on dry ground 20 minutes ago. I mean, this is insane.
I've never driven in anything like it before.
It is an emergency. It is epic.
We're going to be in for this for the long haul.
Yeah, for the long haul is right. So what exactly is First Alert weather? Well, it's a promise. It's our promise to you. Now, when you look at the 7-day forecast, you might see a day highlighted in red, or you'll see a little yellow tab. It means we're tracking some potentially inconvenient or severe weather on those days. And sometimes a yellow day can turn into a red day as the week progresses. But either way, it's something to look out for so you can plan ahead. And we're on top of it. Myself, along with Elise Finch, Vanessa Murdoch, John Elliott, as well as our team of weather producers who work diligently behind the scenes to determine those First Alert weather days. And it's all based on a combination of data. We're talking weather models, radar, current conditions, information from the National Weather Service, and something that I think is most important, which is our local knowledge of the climate right here in the tri-states. You know, this time of the year, the weather can be especially difficult to forecast. I mean, spring is right around the corner, right? But don't let the calendar fool you. I mean, we have seen snow as late as May. And so far this year, some parts of the tri-state have seen as much as 35 inches of snow or more. I mean, take a look at it just piling up here. I mean, it kind of looks like the real thing. And did you know that people who keep track of all the numbers are just up the road at the National Weather Service? It's out on Long Island. And Elise is there with a look ahead at what this winter still has in store for us. Elise, take it away.
Hey, Lonnie, I'm out in Upton, a quiet hamlet in Suffolk County. But behind these doors at the National Weather Service, it can get pretty busy when active weather is approaching. Now that March is here, it begs the question, is that a wrap on winter? A lot of people think when February ends, so does winter. But that simply is not the case. Even with our storm at the end of January, our snow totals are still slightly below seasonal norms for the year, at least so far. But a few of the biggest snowstorms ever recorded in the tri-state area happened in March.
One of the biggest blizzards on record, March of 1888. We had over 200 fatalities in New York City alone, paralyzed the East Coast, and one of the most severe winter storms to ever affect the tri-state area.
Nelson Vaz is the warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Upton. He says recent storms prove that March remains an active month.
In 2018, we actually had 4 nor'easters. For some parts of the area, that was a record.
Sleet and freezing rain are also big winter weather threats that can persist well into early spring. Snow is the form of precipitation you get when the air is sufficiently cold from a cloud all the way down to the ground. But sleet is formed if there's a layer of warm air that melts the snow as it's falling. Then it encounters another substantial layer of cold air before hitting the ground, and that melted snow refreezes into little ice pellets. Freezing rain starts out the same way, as snow. But in this case, after it passes warmer air and melts, it remains liquid until reaching the ground, where it refreezes and turns into an icy glaze. That can happen on roads, vehicles, trees, and power lines. And even though it may not look dangerous, this light glaze can cause mayhem on the roads. We recently saw hundreds of crashes in Westchester and Bergen counties.
It can be a challenge to forecast because it could just be a difference in temperature by a degree or two. It can be the difference between seeing snow versus sleet and freezing rain.
When storms are likely to produce dangerous amounts of snow, sleet, or freezing rain, the National Weather Service will issue alerts.
Our mission at the National Weather Service is protection of life and property through our watches, warnings, advisories.
And the CBS 2 weather team will take that information and draw your attention to potentially dangerous winter conditions with a First Alert Weather Day. As you can see, a substantial winter weather event is still a very real possibility. Even when spring arrives, it's no picnic for meteorologists. My colleague Vanessa is laser focused on spring weather. And Vanessa, let's face it, it's still difficult to forecast as the seasons are changing.
Elise, we know it can be challenging. Many prefer bright skies and mild air, but the collision of cold and warm air creates volatile weather. We're talking spring and storms. This weather is crazy. Sums up spring. One moment, birds are chirping, bees buzzing. It's 60s and sunny. Then, seemingly within seconds, a strong cold front. The battle line drawn between warm and cold air approaches. Skies turn dark and storms rip through the region, threatening lives and property. This was the case in May of 2019. Drone Force 2 surveyed homes in Stanhope and Hopatcong ripped apart. Power poles slammed to the ground. An EF1 tornado with winds up to 110 miles per hour caused all this.
And boom, boom, and I just took off.
Gina Costanza hunkered down in the basement.
What happened, bro?
A tree slammed down onto Marine Master Sergeant Grigsby Cowart's truck during one of the most significant spring severe weather outbreaks in recent years. 5 people died on May 15, 2018. The worst of it hit north and due west of the city, which is often the case in early spring.
Our ocean is still very cold, so the ocean plays a large part in the amount of energy that we may have for thunderstorms.
Once a cold front passes, temperatures may drop by 20, 30 degrees or more. This is when farmers' stress levels spike. April of 2014 was devastating.
And we had a night that dropped down below the 28 degrees critical stage, and we lost 90% in about a 2-hour period.
Stephen Decker of Rutgers University points out forecasting flash flooding can be challenging.
Similar to snow events in the winter, just a shift of 10 or 20 miles could have a big impact.
Consider this scenario that played out on May 1st, 2014. A sluggishly moving warm front led to a deluge in New Jersey, parts of the city, and on Long Island. Getting around by canoe, simpler than by car. Whenever we, your First Alert weather team, spot the chance for severe spring storms, we will alert you, sometimes as early as a week in advance. Our main objective, why we love being your local meteorologists, is to help you and your family stay safe when Mother Nature unleashes her worst. It's not just spring storms we worry about. Summer brings an added layer of concern. My colleague John Elliott is down on the Jersey Shore where many go to seek relief from extreme heat.
Thanks, Vanessa. Full disclosure, I'm a summer guy. I love it. It is hard to beat a summer day at the shore. But I know that heat and humidity can also be dangerous. In fact, according to the CDC, over 700 people a year die from heat-related diseases. So it's important to know the signs of heat stress so you can keep your cool and stay safe.
Absolutely, heat can kill you. There's a whole spectrum of issues that we can deal with heat. As minimal as a sunburn to whereas we get more into heat exhaustion and heat stroke, which becomes the emergency. When you should go to the hospital is when you're having signs of vomiting, continued muscle cramps, dizziness, headaches.
Of course, the Jersey Shore is a great place to escape the heat, but I know the reality is not everybody can head to the beach. So there are 2 important advisories you need to know about. The National Weather Service will issue a heat advisory when the heat index is forecast to be between 95 and 99 for 2 days, or 100 to 104 for really any length of period. An excessive heat warning is posted when the heat index value is forecast to hit 105 for just 2 hours.
When the weather people tell you the heat index is high, it's best to take the precautions and stay inside in cool environments and limit your exposure outside.
So summertime heat and humidity can be dangerous, but there are 3 simple steps to make sure that you survive and thrive and can enjoy this great season. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay informed. And that's what we're here for every day of the year, no matter what season it might be. There's always something to look out for in our area, but there's always something to look forward to as well. Right, Lonnie?
Johnny, you betcha. It's all part of living in the Northeast. I want to thank you guys for taking us through the seasons, but there's still more ahead. So don't go anywhere. We've got more on our First Alert Promise to You coming up.
He lives for extreme weather.
It's a big tornado.
We catch up with a storm chaser as we look back at the weather that made headlines. Then, check your trunk. What you'll need in your car during a storm, including an item from the pet shop and a lesson in weather safety.
What should you do when you hear that there's a severe storm?
Our own John Elliott puts a local class to the test and teaches them what to do when severe weather strikes.